Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bridging the Gap. Make sure to leave a like on this video down below and subscribe. My name is Alvin. I lean right on most issues, and I'll be representing the Republican side.
My name is Luke. I lean left on most issues, and I'll be representing the Democratic side. Hey guys, so in this video, Alvin and I will be giving our bipartisan review of what will be the 2025 governor elections in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, so there's two big governor elections happening in 2025, one in Virginia and one in New Jersey. And today we're going to cover the one in New Jersey because of some things that have just happened. And we'll get into those later. But just to set the scene here, you can see New Jersey here in 2024. You can see that Donald Trump did basically historically well in the state. On a national level for a very long time. He got this margin down to 6 points, and New Jersey seems to be shifting very much to the right, along with the New York City metro area, which presents a big opportunity to Republicans. If you don't know, currently the governor of New Jersey is Phil Murphy, who is a Democrat and has been reelected. Both he has been elected after Trump won the presidency in 2016, and also after Biden won the presidency, even when
Mhm.
things were not great for the Democrats. So he's held on twice, but Republicans see a very good opportunity this time around with how the shifts have been, even though Trump will be in the White House and there might be some backlash. So we'll be seeing how this race goes down.
Yeah, so I guess next order of business will be breaking down the candidates for each party. And I guess we'll start with the Democrats. The first up candidate here we have Ras Baraka, mayor of Newark, New Jersey, so the largest city, the mayor of the largest city. He's running on a more progressive platform, I will say. He's definitely one of the more progressive candidates of the bunch. And yeah, he has some endorsements from other progressive Dems in the state, notably getting the endorsement of some representatives, Bonnie Watson Coleman and LaMonica McIver in particular. Um, yeah, do you wanna get the next one?
Yeah, I mean, Steve Fulop is the mayor of Jersey City right now, and this is the second largest city
Hmm.
in the state of New Jersey. So really, we're just going down the list here. And Steve Fulop is known for many things within the city and many things throughout the state, but I will say he has been getting a big coalition together throughout the state. And you can see that, of course, he has some endorsements from Jersey City, but also endorsements from Trenton and Atlantic City. He's been going all over. And I guess we'll show this map that you've made. And why don't you talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, so Philip is also running on a more
Yeah,
progressive
more
sort of
progressive.
angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much anti establishment. And this is kind of seen in the fact that he's endorsing lots of local Democratic candidates um, who are running on progressive platforms, challenging incumbent Democrats who he sees as like corrupt or part of the New Jersey Democratic machine. So yeah, you see like here, this is a map I made of all the endorsements he's made. He's made 33 endorsements, 17 in essentially open seats, but 16 in races where there are Democratic incumbents and like basically fielding and funding challengers against Democratic incumbents in those seats. So yeah, he's definitely um, taking a more progressive approach to this. Yeah.
Yep. All right. And okay, I guess I'll just move on to Josh Gottheimer, who is running definitely not on the progressive side. He is definitely
Hmm.
more on the moderate side of the Democrat Party. Also certified short king on the side on the debate stage. Josh Gottheimer has a lot of endorsements from national level representatives, of course, being one of the members in the House. He has many big endorsements from those people. He's also got a lot of endorsements from Bergen County, which that's sort of his base. So I think he's just running at a different from a different angle, and we'll see if he's able to break through.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more conservative-ish Dems in the bunch here. But next we have Mikey Sherrill. I would definitely say she's the front runner right now. She's also a representative. in the U.S. House, similarly to Gottheimer. Both of these representatives, Gottheimer and Sherrill, are capable, have proved their ability to win swingy races in the past, even though their districts have gotten bluer since. But yeah, Mikey Sherrill, she's definitely not as moderate as Gottheimer. She strikes me more of like a generic sort of what you'd expect from a an average sort of Democrat, very electable, very much in the middle of the road for the Democratic Party. Um, other notable things about her, she seems to have stolen the endorsement from the North Jersey Democratic machine from Gottheimer in recent days. I don't know if you've heard about that, but Brian Stack and other Democrats in that are part of the Hudson County machine have moved their endorsement from Josh Gottheimer to Mikey Sherrill recently. So she's definitely consolidating establishment support. Yeah,
Yeah, I will say a lot of that is likely going to be because she is seen as the front runner right now. I think that is sort of why she's getting these sort of endorsements. A lot of these people, of course, being part of the political machine, are very opportunistic and just want to endorse who they see is going to win. And so Mikey Sherrill is going to have a lot of momentum behind that, which is very good for her. And seems like that's just going to contribute to her success here. But one of the less relevant people running is Sean Spiller, who is the president of the NJEA. And for those of you from states or from abroad, from other countries who don't really know how the New Jersey Teachers Union works, which is the NJEA, they are extremely strong. They have a big presence in the state, and often because of how many people fall under the NJE and how much power and money they have, they present a big force, a big political force. And they probably did a lot of swaying in the 2021 gubernatorial race, given how slim the margin of victory was for Phil Murphy, who they endorsed. And so, I mean, of course, the NJEA, the teachers union, is usually more on the Democrat side, and that's sort of his really only base. He has the least endorsements out of anyone, but of course, being the president of the NJEA, he is going to be fighting for teachers' rights, and a lot of his backing is from the teachers, although his appeals to the rest of the Democrat Party remains to be seen.
yeah. Yeah, Spiller's definitely one of the smaller candidates here. And the last one we have Steve Sweeney, former president of the New Jersey Senate. Now, this guy's interesting because he has a lot of experience working with the New Jersey legislator, as the former president of the NJ Senate, and he played a big role and continues to play a big role in the South Jersey Democratic machine and kind of controlling party politics down there. But another thing that is notable about him is he lost his state Senate seat in 2021 to essentially a nobody. And yeah, in the red wave that we saw that year in the statewide races in New Jersey, he kind of got swept out. So that was very embarrassing for him. And yeah, I would say he's definitely running on a more conservative, moderate-ish sort of angle. Um, and I definitely think his path is just consolidating the South Jersey vote while all the other Democrats in this race are from North Jersey and trying to get an advantage in that way. So yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, looking at this map right here, you sort of see what we're talking about here. The Democrat chair endorsements. Sweeney's picked up, I guess, 5 of the South Jersey endorsements already, and of course, this is his power base. But of course, like you said, he is the former Senate president, state Senate president. And we'll talk
Hmm.
about the person that unseated him in a moment. But yeah, Steve Sweeney, another Steve in this race, he's going to be looking at this angle a little bit from the outside as well. Because although he is a major power broker, he lost quite a bit of that power when he lost in embarrassing fashion in 2021, along with that red wave. And
Yep.
so we'll have to see if he can come back from that, although that is quite difficult. And we will talk about a little bit of the polling here. There's two, maybe three recent polls, but there's really
Yeah.
only one that's nonpartisan, and this is Emerson college poll, which does have very low sample size, so take this
Yeah.
with a grain of salt. However, it does show, like we said, Mikey Sherrill in front with 10%, very small base, a lot of undecideds, by the way. Sean Spiller here with 8%. That's pretty good for him. As well as for Ross Baraka, but you can see all these candidates very fractured,
Yeah.
basically all in the single digits, and they're all fighting for a little bit of breathing room. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I definitely. If you look at all the polling, including like the internals, some are from like the internals are primarily from Spiller and Cheryl, but in all of those, you'll see Cheryl ahead. So I think that is a good sign for her right out of the gate. But yeah, as you can see, there's like a crap ton of undecided still. So there's going to be plenty of room for change. I would say right now in that one independent poll, Spiller's probably doing a little better than expected because I know he got ads out really, really early, right out of the gate. But I think he's gonna get drowned out because Cheryl, Gottheimer, um, and Fulop, I believe, and there might be one more, all have like a lot of money at their disposal. And I definitely think over time Spiller's kind of gonna get drowned out. But
yeah, I think you're missing
yeah.
Sweeney there for
Oh
sure.
yeah, Sweeney. Yeah,
But
definitely. South
yeah,
Jersey
I
Machine.
mean,
Yeah,
he definitely has a
right
ton of
there.
money as well. But yeah, this is going to be the fundraising. I mean, it's smart for Spiller to spend early. He does not have very much money behind him, as you can see here, because
Hmm.
but if he can get some early momentum, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll move on quickly now to the Republican primary candidates. Now, there's a lot of people in this list, but we're going to narrow it down to four, and you'll see very soon why we do that. I guess I'll start with John Bramnick here at the top. He's going to be on the more moderate slash liberal Republican side, coming at it from maybe more of an establishment perspective. He's the only person in the main four we're going to talk about that is currently holding office in New Jersey, and he has had quite a bit of time there in the state senate. So, of course, that's very good for him. His claim to fame here is going to be his electability for sure, and being a moderate slash liberal Republican here has him winning very strongly, might I add, in Democrat districts where Kamala Harris won, districts where Joe Biden won. He is
Yeah.
there winning as a Republican, which is going to be his claim to fame. And if he gets into the general election, he's definitely going to be a big, strong candidate against the Democrat nominee there, of course. However, can he win a primary? We'll see.
Yeah, I definitely would say, yeah, you're framing him very accurately. He won in a district that both Harris and Biden won by double digits. So he's definitely has that moderate Republican appeal in those North Jersey suburbs. Anyway, moving on. Next, I would say we have the front runner in Jack Ciattarelli. So essentially, this was the Republican nominee for governor in 2021. And yeah, he did really, really well. He got it into to a 3-point race before losing to Phil Murphy. I definitely think he rode off of kind of the backlash to Biden and the early signs of inflation in 2021. But yeah, he was definitely a formidable candidate back then. And he's in the race now, and he seems to be leading in the race as of right now to take the Republican nomination. So yeah.
Yeah, if you're referring to this poll, this is the same poll, but even lower sample size here. But yeah, Chiarelli out here at 26% is very strong. I think a lot of Republicans are thinking about his 2021 run when he was very, very close to knocking out Phil Murphy. There was even this one point in the night where we thought he was going to get it done, where
There
we
was a
thought he was going to
chance, yeah.
shock the world. But no, he fell short. But, a lot of Republican primary voters are excited to give him another chance with no incumbent in the office. And with a more Republican New Jersey, as we talked about in the beginning, he might be able to get the job done. So those first two candidates, very looking towards the electability side, but less so is going to be, I guess I'll do Ed Durr because I think he's next, although he does not
Hmm.
have any endorsements. Ed Durr is a former state senator. And if you remember earlier when we talked about Steve Sweeney
Yep.
and losing that election in 2021, Ed Durr is the one that did it. Ed the trucker, he was a trucker and he was just a normal guy and he decided to run against Sweeney because I guess why not? and he really had such little fundraising that everyone wrote him off. I guess Sweeney wrote him off too, but to borrow a phrase from Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith, he didn't write back. So Ed Durr basically just beat Sweeney, shocked New Jerseyans everywhere, shocked, I'm sure, Steve Sweeney, and took that seat for 2 years. And so he sort of embarrassed Sweeney and made a name for himself. However, he did lose in 2023
Yeah.
and lost that seat. So it's a little weak for him. He's sort of running as more of the anti-establishment candidate, the guy that beat Steve Sweeney, and he's going to be a beacon of change. But we'll see if he's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I definitely think he's on the weaker side considering in
True.
2023 he lost a Trump district, but a district that Trump won quite handily. But yeah, anyway, I don't think he's going to be the main focus of attention. He is an outside shot. Next, and finally, of the major Republicans we have running here, we have Bill Spadilla, a radio talk show host, and I would definitely say his candidacy is quite interesting. He's definitely running on the MAGA right. Definitely, I would say him and Ed Durr are definitely most aligned with Trump's brand of populism, while Schiaparelli's more of a generic Republican and Bramnick's more of the moderate Republican type. But yeah, Spadilla definitely adopts that Trump-esque ideology. And he was definitely, I believe when Trump came to rally in New Jersey once in 2024, Spadilla was right there by his side. So he has close ties to the president, and Trump even suggested that I believe Trump was suggested he'd have Spadilla would have his support if he ran for governor. Um, I mean, Trump is yet to issue an endorsement, but if he is going to, I imagine it would be for Spadilla in this scenario, and that could be a tremendous help for him. And because right now he's second in the polls, and I definitely think with a Trump endorsement, Spadilla could be the favorite.
Yeah, Spadilla is definitely running more on that, relying on that Trump side. But it's going to be interesting because I think New Jersey Republicans are one of the least, I guess more, they're the most one of the most more moderate uh, Republican parties in the country, in my opinion. And so maybe that's not as strong of a way to win this primary, although I'm sure it would help. But maybe that's the reason why he's still in second. He also has electability issues. He is a big loser. He's lost many times running for office. And so, that's tough, and doesn't look good when you're trying to win a primary. But like you said, with that Trump endorsement, things could switch up for him. And I guess we'll sort of talk about what happened with the primary debates now,
Yeah.
because a lot of action happened on both sides. And I guess we'll turn back over to the Democrat side.
Yeah, I mean, we can go over. Yeah, let's do a quick overview of the recent debates. Now, I watched the Democratic debate. You watched the Republican debate. So I guess we'll both do our own respective say here. Now the Democratic debate. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. There was no. I don't think it was as interesting as the Republican debate. All the candidates were quite cordial toward each other. There was a couple like small policy differences. And you can tell like the avenues they were running on. Like I would say Gottheimer, for example, like the entire debate was just him basically yelling tax cuts, and taking that route of trying to be like, oh, I'm the candidate of tax cuts. Meanwhile, you definitely have candidates like Philip Spiller and Baraka definitely running as more anti-establishment. I believe Philip outright said, my campaign isn't for everyone. That my campaign's one for those who want change. And then you have Cheryl and Sweeney adopting. I would say they were adopt in terms of how they were presenting themselves, more middle of the road between the two. Um, yeah, I mean, other takeaways. I don't really think there was too much. I mean, yeah, the aggression really hasn't started on the Democratic side. I think they're
Yeah.
still introducing themselves. But yeah, you
I
can go into
think
the Republican
I
debate.
mean a few comments on the Democrat debate. I did watch like 20-30 minutes of the Dem debate. I didn't have that much time when the Dem debate happened. However, there's a reason why I turned the debate off, and I think that's mainly because, well,
Yeah.
not only did I think you were going to watch it and you could cover it well, but I also just thought it was very boring.
It
To give it
was.
one word, it was boring. And so really after the very boring opening statements, the very dry comments by every candidate that uh to be honest with you, they all sounded the same. So I mean, yes, they had their little differences, but
Yeah.
each person was basically sounding the same. They were basically saying the same things with the exact same dry monotone, and I just decided to turn this off. But this is in stark contrast to the Republican debate, which the Republican debate was a lot more fun. It was, if you're going to watch one of them, and I'm not just saying that as the Republican, this is the one if you want more entertainment content. And you have all four candidates who went at it dramatically, really. If this was a national level debate, it would have gotten many, many headlines because of how heated it was, how passionate all the candidates were. They sounded like they were attacking each other more than they
Yeah.
were promoting themselves, and they're all really fighting for an angle and fighting for the attention a lot more than the Democrat candidates were. Of course, they all played into their lanes that we just talked about. For example, Senator Durr here playing into that anti-establishment one, John Bramnick trying to get the moderate electability one, Jack still sort of focusing on his 2021 run, but also putting out how, speaking on how he could
Yeah.
unite both the Trump wing and the moderate wing as he has done before, and Spadilla talking about how the rest of the candidates were not conservative enough to earn the nomination. So
Yeah.
all these guys with the red ties went at it, and this was definitely more fun, but also I think it was much more interesting.
Yeah, I did see a couple local headlines about just like the aggression on the debate stage. It definitely seems that they're more combative on the Republican side as of right now. But yeah, where should we move from there to what we think is going to happen, the betting markets? What do you
Yeah,
reckon?
yeah, we can talk about the betting markets, and then we'll talk about a few small predictions. So go ahead with the dem market.
Yeah, I mean, as expected here, you have Mikey Sherrill leading the pack. I just think, yeah, because of the polling, and I think her, representing a large swath of the state, like, being a member of the House of Representatives, I think that just gives her enough of an advantage. Second place, we have Gottheimer here. Yeah, again, I think it is decently high profile position is in the U.S. House of Representatives. Um, yeah, and then for the other candidates, it just kind of like slowly decreases over time. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of tougher for the other candidates because they're running from like what positions of mayors and really not much else. Like, yeah. But yeah, I would just say yeah, it just generally looks how I think it would.
yeah, makes sense. Mikey Shaw at 50 probably makes
Mhm.
sense. On the Republican side, a little bit of movement since the debate. You can see that Spadilla's up and Chinarelli's down, which might be indicative of a strong performance in the debate by Spadilla, sort of showing that he is that more conservative Republican on stage, while Chinarelli was unable to really make unifying performance there. And over in the overall market, you can see that Democrats have ticked a little down from pre both debates, and Republicans have definitely ticked up since the debates, which I'm not sure really why. I don't think any movement is really justified, but it is a little bit, just small amounts of movement here. Yeah, I mean, for this entire time, Democrats have not been doing too well in this market compared to maybe what they would have in previous years because of that shift that we talked about at the beginning, where I think this market is probably priced about right. Maybe 80-20 is where I'd put it right now. But what would you put a number on it if you had to?
I mean, yeah, I would probably put it about the same to be safe.
Okay.
But I like yeah, like 80-20, 85-15. I definitely think the Democrats are extremely favored. Just because I think there is going by the time of the election, November 2025, I definitely think that there's going to be an organized backlash to the Trump administration, as is what usually happens for incumbent presidents. So yeah, and I think with that in full swing, no matter what direction New Jersey is shifting, I think it'll just kind of revert to electing a Democrat for governor. Um,
Yeah,
especially
seems
if
likely.
Yeah, like especially if like Mikey Sherrill, for example, a very electable Democrat like her, if she's the nominee, or like Gottheimer, I think it's pretty much a lock. Um, and
Maybe. Well, we'll definitely have to see who's on the Republican side. I think if Chiarelli or Bramnick win the nomination, it would push Republicans odds up for sure. But Spadilla or Derwin, the primary somehow, that
yeah.
would be definitely works for the Republicans. But yeah, we'll have to see who wins the primary on both sides. Um, primary day happens in June, and of course, the general elections in November. So we'll have to see the timeline on that. Yeah, I think we'll definitely have to see if Democrats can muster a unified response to Trump in the coming days and coming months, because really Trump has been doing a very good job flooding the zone in terms of making big things happen pretty much every single day. And Democrats seem to be a little disorientated, which we've talked about in our previous video on where Democrats are moving.
Yep.
They don't really have a unified response as of right now, but as election season comes around, they're likely to ramp that up because right now, I don't know what's going on. So maybe once the State of the Union happens, when Trump really has his first 100 days, we'll see this market tick up more for the Democrats. Or it could move the other way if Trump has a successful first few months without any national catastrophes like in Afghanistan, for example. And if he holds a decent approval rating, maybe Republicans can do better in this race. So any
Yep.
last words before we end the video?
Nothing in particular. I just hope hope our home state has an interesting race.
Yeah. I mean, do you? I feel like you would more hope for a Democrat smashing of this race. If this race is interesting, I don't know
Yeah, I
it'll be
guess.
it'll be for if it's competitive. I don't know if
Maybe
that's gonna
maybe that's poor
be.
phrasing. I hope
Yeah.
Democrats make their stand here. I think that's better.
Yeah, or maybe hope for the primaries at least being interesting, so we get more content. But I definitely hope the general is also interesting because that would be very fun, and that way we could actually have some political investment in our state for once. Anyways, thanks so much for watching this video. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed down below. A comment down below any thoughts about this race that you have right now. If you can predict who you think's going to win on either side in the primaries and who will ultimately become the next governor of New Jersey. And also comment down below any future ideas you have for us for videos. Subscribe down below for future content. And thanks for watching. Share this
See
video
you
with your
guys.
family and friends.
See you guys.